Hi everybody. I know I just got a video out on Friday, so this one's coming up a little bit sooner than the last one did during the week, but felt it was prudent to get one out before the storm hits, starting tomorrow afternoon. In particular, we've come up with some modifications. As most of you probably saw an email, we've come up with some modifications to the shifts and start times, just to have an eye on safety and everybody's well-being with the storm. What we're tracking is it's going to be a pretty significant storm. I'm sure, as you've seen, it's going to start to hit us late tomorrow into Thursday. So what we're going to do is for tomorrow, we want to be able to make sure we can get second shift out of the building a little bit sooner than normal, just to make sure that they're on the roads prior to it getting really bad. So the suggestion is for tomorrow, the changes for tomorrow are first shift still going to start at 6, but first shift has to end at 2:30. We want everybody out of the building by 2:30, with the exception of the few people who stick around to do the sanitizing. Any overtime would be started prior, so hopefully the managers have already had conversations with most of you. So 2:30, the vast majority of first shift will leave. The folks that do the sanitizing will sanitize and try to be all done by 2:45. Second shift will start at 3 o'clock tomorrow as opposed to 4:30. This will allow second shift to end at 11:30 as opposed to 1 a.m. We do have an all-hands meeting that was set up for 4:30 tomorrow. At the start of second shift, we're going to do that at 3 o'clock now, and just do that as soon as the shift is about to start. So second shift for tomorrow, come in, be ready. We'll gather like we typically do, all socially distant, across the main floor in the office area for our all-hands meeting tomorrow. When it comes to Thursday, let's keep talking about tomorrow night. If the storm starts getting heavier sooner and anybody on second shift is uncomfortable with staying until 11:30 and find the need to leave earlier, go ahead and do that. We'll just keep an eye on safety. What we want to focus on is ensuring that we have the productivity that we need with the end of the year. So if you do wind up leaving early tomorrow night, those hours need to be made up on Friday or Saturday so we get all the production done during this week as planned. When it comes to Thursday, we know that the brunt of the storm will still be going on Thursday morning, when it's typically time for first shift to come in. So if you feel you can make it in, come in. But if you can't get out, no problem. Come in when you can. But similarly, as we do tomorrow, first shift has to be out of the building by 4 o'clock on Thursday. So that second shift will start on time at 4:30. Again, if first shift individuals can't come in, we're going to use PTO, or we're going to make up those hours on Friday or Saturday. If Thursday becomes a complete washout where we can't even get second shift in, we'll turn Saturday into a full production day to complete the week. If the storm is not cleared up and it's difficult for second shift to come in at the normal start time for 4:30, come in when you can. Again, those hours can be made up or use PTO. So again, focus here is those of you that work in the shop, make the right decision for you. Some people, it takes longer to get cleared out of their driveways. Some people have longer commutes. Make the right decision, but we want to make sure that we are not sacrificing deliveries to our customers. So those hours will need to be made up, or ideally made up on Friday or Saturday, but worst case PTO could be used. For those of you that do not need to come in, the good news with COVID over the past 9 months is we've been very productive with getting setups done from home. So if you can work from home on Thursday, work from home. Don't make that decision on your own. Make sure you're having that communication with your supervisor or your manager, so that everybody knows what's expected of them, and ensure that you have everything you need to be productive from home. So be safe, make the right decisions. Let's get in if you can, so we can get product out the door. But at the end of the day, just focus on whatever you're most comfortable with. We'll keep communication along the way. Obviously, if anything changes, we use this format, whether it's a video or the mass text application I use, and we'll get information out. The other thing is parking. For those people that sit in the sales zones on the side of the building, fixed and rotary wing teams, we need to keep that driveway clear for EA Quinn to be doing the plowing and the sanding and the salting. So starting tomorrow, park at the front lot, or park over in the side over by the entrance by near where I park, and you can come in that way if there's not a clear path of snow removed. We want to be careful of anybody slipping or falling. So at this point, we'll just be focused on coming in the best way you can for those areas, especially tomorrow, because we know they'll probably be out there salting. So come in a different entrance, masks, gloves, the whole 9 yards, and we'll make sure we're sanitizing behind you as you get up into your areas, into your zones. From a COVID standpoint, you've probably seen a lot of the news, especially in the last 24 hours. Yesterday, Hartford Healthcare System and some of the other hospitals started administering the first doses of the vaccine, so that got a lot of press yesterday. So there's a lot of this every day. There's going to be more and more vaccinations. Right now, it seems like a fairly decent response rate within the healthcare system of folks wanting to get the vaccine. And what we're hearing as well is that come Friday, Moderna's vaccine will also have FDA authorization. So the doses are going to start to ramp up, and at least at the state level, from everything I've been watching, we're on schedule to what Governor Lamont talked about a week or so ago with the phases of vaccination within the state. As we get more information on that, I'll certainly pass it off to you. And then the last area to talk about today, we've received an influx of questions, maybe not necessarily applicable to our employees, but maybe to family members and folks that you know of. A lot of questions around if you've tested positive with COVID, or if you feel that you've been exposed or have symptoms, how long do you need to be away from people before you can come back to work? So this slide that's up now, Carol pulled from the state's website with CDC guidelines. I'm not going to read through all of it. Feel free to just pause the video and come back here, take screenshots of it, and you can share this with family members, or if it's you that's curious. But basically, what you see here is if you had COVID-19 or had symptoms, you can be around others after 10 days since symptoms first appeared, and 24 hours with no fever, without the use of fever medication, and other symptoms of COVID-19 are improving. And this is the loss of taste and smell, which may persist for weeks or months after recovery, but does not delay the end of isolation or quarantine. So feel free to keep reading this. It talks about some other things if you've got a severe compromised immune system, but this is good information that Carol pulled, and feel free to use it and share it. Other than that, nothing new for today. I'm sure I'll get another communication out as we get toward the end of the week, especially if anything changes with the storm. But be safe, be healthy, and we'll talk to you soon.